Hi, we are in the last couple days of our January fitness challenge. And in this very last week, we're just going to do a couple of vinyasa practices, still short, maybe a little longer than some of the other flows that we've had. And then today's is going to be challenging. We're going to attempt Bird of Paradise in this practice, which will incorporate balancing challenge also along with a bind. So I just ask you just to keep your practice playful. If you fall out of it or if you find it challenging, just keep trying because we don't make any progress unless we keep trying. So we're going to go ahead and get started coming to the center of our mat, but facing one of the long edges of your mat, and then take a nice big step out. Turn the toes out so they're at a slight diagonal. And from here, we're just going to go ahead and drop down like we're coming into goddess. But we're going to start just by shifting the hips from right to left. And then we're going to take the hands and have them both with the fingertips facing the inside of the thighs, and then start to straighten the left shoulder actually. And then you can bend into the right elbow, really push into the inside of the left thigh, rotate the chest looking up and over the right shoulder. And then let's take that over to the other side. A little shoulder stretch just to start off. Once more onto the left. And then finally going back to the right shoulder. When you're ready, we're going to come back into goddess. Draw the hands to heart center. Let's go ahead and straighten the legs. Open the arms, really extend through the fingertips. Push through all four corners of the feet, grounding down, opening up into your star pose. From star pose, let's go ahead and spin the toes so that the toes are facing the front long edge of the mat and the feet are parallel. Take the arms out so they're in more of a T shape. And we're going to bend from the hips, use the strength in the core, start to work into the back hamstrings, and lift for 1, bend, and lift for 2, bend, and lift for 3. From here, again, hands to heart center. We're going to turn the left toes out, maybe widen the stance a little bit as we shift over onto the right heel, taking Skandasana. You can certainly have the hips lifted or use the hands in support of the floor if you need it. From the right side, we're going to transfer and move over towards a left Skandasana. If you can, use the strength in your hips, maybe not use the hands, and then we're going to come back over to the right. Pausing on the right side, we're going to lift the hips and shift to face the front edge of your mat. So now we are in this lower runner's lunge position. We're going to take the right hand to the inside of the right foot. And then we're in this lifted lizard. Keep the back knee lifted. Allow the hips to feel heavy. Maybe give them a little bounce or a little wiggle if that feels good. We're going to start to work into our bind. And to do that, we're going to take the right hand and then the right shoulder and bring it underneath that right knee. So now the right hand is on the outside of the right foot. Start to walk the right foot back in towards the center, and you're really squeezing the right knee into that right shoulder. From here, press the hands down into the mat, shift forward onto the back toes, maybe take 1 hop or 2. Draw the left foot up, come up onto the right toes. And so now our right knee is just slightly lifted, and we're holding in this balancing fold here. Take the left hand, bring it back behind the back. Maybe take the right hand and bend and take a clasp behind the back. As you do so, you can start to slowly come up onto the right toes. Press down into the left foot. Maybe lift yourself upright, coming up as we begin our Bird of Paradise. From your Bird of Paradise, let's extend the right toes. If you can, this is very challenging, lengthening out into the right hamstring. And then let's bend the right knee. Return from where we came, bending the torso. Touch the right toes down. Keeping the bind, allowing the right foot to come to the mat. We're going to step the left foot back, a big step back. So we're now in this bound lunge. Open the chest, look up towards the sky. Start to straighten the front right leg, keeping the bind, gazing up. Then release the bind, place the right hand down. Lift the left arm up to the sky for our triangle pose. Inhale and exhale. When you're ready, we're going to rainbow that left arm down to the front of the mat and then walk the hands over to the long edge of our mat. Once more, we're going to spin the toes so that they're at about a diagonal. Take the hands to the hips. Lift yourself up and you're in your goddess squat. From your goddess squat, we're going to take a little variation on squats in goddess, and we're going to lift the left heel. And then at the same time, the arms are in cactus, and then you're going to lift the right arm. Lower it down. Keep the full squat in your lower body at all times. And we're just lifting the left heel and the right arm and lowering down for 2. Lift, lower for 3. Lift, lower for 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. Lower and bring the hands to heart center. Let's go ahead and lift up through the hips, straightening the legs. We can turn the toes to face the long edge of the mat, parallel feet. And then let's just take a forward fold in our wide-legged stance. The hands can come to the earth. And from here, we're going to shift again into Skandasana, this time starting on the left side. Turn the left toes out so they're at a diagonal. Maybe bring the hands to the chest, shift over into the left hip as you point the right toes up to the sky. Move your Skandasana over towards the right. Bring the left toes up. And then shift over to the left. And bring the right toes up. From here, in our left Skandasana, we're going to lift and then turn to face the back edge of the mat. Coming into our runner's lunge on the opposite side, preparing for bird of paradise on this side. Take the left hand first to the inside of the left foot, coming into lizard. A high lizard, the back leg is lifted. When you're ready, take the left hand, bring it to the outside of that left foot, but you'll need to draw the left foot in now back towards the center so that the left shin and thigh are squeezing onto that upper arm of the left arm. From here, we're going to take maybe 1 little step, maybe 2, and then maybe draw that right foot to the top of the mat. From this point, come up, lifting the left foot slightly off of the mat to make space. Take the right arm behind you, and then the left, perhaps binding the hands and taking a hold of the hands. Come up further onto the left toes, pressing into the right foot, and then slowly bring yourself upright into your bird of paradise. If it's available to you, you can extend the left leg out. Holding here. Returning from where we came, we're going to bend that left leg, slowly shift the torso forward, keeping the bind, allowing the toes to touch. And then we're going to take a big step back with the right foot, coming into this revolved lunge with the bind, gazing up to the sky. And then extend, straighten that front left leg. And when you're ready, release the bind, place the left hand down, gaze up towards the right fingertips, reaching up in your triangle pose. In your triangle pose, let's inhale, bring the hands to the front. And then exhale, walk the hands back over to the side, the long edge of your mat. We're going to turn the toes out again at that diagonal. Take the hands to the hips and then lower down into your goddess squat. We're going to take those cactus and arm and heel lifts on the opposite side. So the arms come out to cactus shape. We're going to lift the right heel up, lift the left arm. Keeping low in your squat, we're going to lower down. Lifting for 2 and lower, 3, lower, 4, and down, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's bring it back to goddess. When you're ready, let's extend the legs and straighten. Maybe shift the hips from right to left. Let's fold forward at the hips, taking a wide-legged forward fold, turning the toes so that they are parallel with one another. Maybe walk the hands underneath you, putting some weight into the balls of the feet, and allow the head to hang heavy. Inhale. Exhale, release even further. One more. Exhale it out. When you're ready, we're just going to walk the hands forward and then start to draw the knees down and in. Let's turn ourselves around on our mat and shift back into a child's pose. Taking an inhale, feeling the back round and the belly expand across the thighs. Exhale, release, relax into the shoulders. One more. Continue to rest into your child's pose, or maybe take a full Shavasana if this is where you want to end for today. That is the end of our very quick Vinyasa Flow for our last week of our January playlist challenge, and our very last class is tomorrow. So make sure you hit that little bell so you get a notification and you don't miss it. One more short Vinyasa Flow, but as always, you can check out the playlist and return to these classes at any time. Be sure to hit subscribe. I have new videos every single week. I hope you have a wonderful day. Make it a good one. Bye.